and welcome back to this week's Fun Fact Friday. We are finally coming to an end on this series of videos for successful relationships. There are only 2 tips left, and of course I've saved the best for last. The first tip may or may not be something that you've heard before, and it's to make sure that you understand you and your partner's love language. Gary Chapman wrote a book specifically on this called The 5 Languages of Love. In his book, he explains that people express love in different ways and also feel love in different ways. He believes that there are 5 languages of love. There's words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, physical touch, and receiving gifts. For instance, if one partner expresses their love through quality time, but then the other partner only understands love through words of affirmation, then this will be very, very frustrating for the both of them. What Chapman argues in this book is that in a relationship, we should figure out what love language makes our partner feel loved and provide that love language for them. Because if you think about it, even if you're trying to express love in your own standards, it's not really going to make any difference if your partner does not understand love in that way. Another example could be that maybe you're the type of person that understands love through physical touch. So here you are giving your partner hugs and holding their hand and doing all these things, but maybe your partner isn't the PDA type or isn't the type that likes to be touched very often. And so maybe this partner really likes to be told that they're beautiful or that they're being appreciated. And so they much rather prefer to be said these things to rather than physical touch. So yes, it's important to understand how you understand love and how your partner understands love, and try to figure out how to be able to really provide each other that language of love for one another. For this week's intervention, try checking out Chapman's website to figure out what language of love you and your partner are. You and your partner can each take the survey to figure out what love languages are your primary love languages. And I hope you have fun with this because it's definitely one of those eye-opening experiences. And this last tip is one of the tips that are often brought up in the office whenever I'm with either an individual or with a couple. Now, I say individual clients too because sometimes when we review expectations of relationships, we start to recognize that some of these expectations are flawed. So here it is. Relationships come with ups and downs. Don't expect to be happy all the time. Relationships definitely take work. In my experience in working with young adult couples, I start to recognize these expectations. They come into my office feeling overwhelmed due to not having an easy relationship and feeling like it's a lot of work. And they also go to the office because they have a hard time navigating the relationship after having some sort of a disagreement or argument. And this last tip, I'm not saying that having an argument every day is normal. I'm simply saying that it's not realistic to be happy all the time. Be open to disagreements, disappointments, and use them as an opportunity to know your partner better and to know yourself as a partner. And just because you have a disagreement with your partner doesn't mean that your relationship needs to end. Take a couple minutes to cool off and use that time to reflect and ask yourself these questions. Is this a disagreement that will make or break my relationship? Are disagreements or arguments happening more often than not? Is there a pattern on the topic that's being argued on? And lastly, is this something you're willing to work on with your partner? While you're taking some time to cool off, it's also important to start thinking about what you're going to say when you do bring this up for discussion. Use those communication skills that were brought up during the previous video so that you can truly express how you're feeling in I statements. And if you and your partner continue to struggle, feel free to contact me directly to schedule an appointment for couples therapy at www.lupitamartineztherapy.com. Thanks for sticking around for this entire series of tips for successful relationships. See you next time.